Hi, welcome. My name is Erin Wolf. I'm the Director of Financial Aid here at Bucknell, and I have my colleague Randy Thane with me from the Human Resource Student Employment area. Today, we're just going to talk through where things are at regarding financial aid, onboarding to Bucknell, and what to be prepared for when getting to campus if you are looking to have a student employment position here at the institution. I first want to start with the financial aid self-service portal. For those of you who have been receiving emails from us, as students have deposited, we are encouraging our students to visit the My Bucknell Financial Aid Self-Service portal. Prior to coming to Bucknell, we've been communicating a lot via email, but now that you're coming in as an enrolled student, I want to make sure students, parents, and student supporters are aware of our internal area where students can access anything related to financial aid information. They can see missing documentation as we start applications year over year, and just other general information that is shared with students in this portal. If you look across the top of the financial aid self-service portal, you'll see the things like the offer. That's where we list the financial aid that a student is receiving year over year. And then we have a history area where students can see their aid year over year as well. The one tab I want to call attention to is the satisfactory academic progress section. This area will not populate until after the fall semester is completed. The satisfactory academic progress policy is a federal policy, and we will be sharing it upon the start of classes, but it can be found on our online website directly on the financial aid page, where you can see all things related to policies, procedures, and whatnot regarding financial aid. This academic progress policy is important to note because students must maintain a minimal GPA and must be completing at least 67% of their coursework each semester, or they could have a chance of being on warning or academic probation for federal financial aid. Again, this is a federal policy, not institutional, but we must follow it, and we do, again, review that semester by semester. So as students are navigating this portal, I just think it's important that I wanted to call that out because we, again, will, as we communicate information, we will encourage our students to visit this site. Now in the portal, I just want to again call out the different things that you'll be seeing. Number one, the award notification, the grants and scholarship section, that of course is those free dollars that will not be repaid. And that information will be listed there. There's nothing you need to do to accept your monies from Bucknell. We automatically, as far as scholarship, roll those scholarship dollars forward each academic year. But for any institutional grants, federal grants, state grants, you must reapply for financial aid by submitting the FAFSA. Hopefully that will be available again on October 1 in a normal annual timeline. Fingers crossed, and we'll have more information as we are made aware of that for the 25-26 academic year. I want to make sure our students and families understand that the federal work study, if you have received it as a portion of your financial aid, that money does not credit directly to your Bucknell B-bill. That is money that you earn bi-weekly by working on campus. And again, because it's a federal fund, we must list it as a federal resource, and that is why you're seeing it in your financial aid offer. But again, that is money that a student will earn by working bi-weekly on campus. If you did not receive a federal work study award, that was due to you not necessarily demonstrating need for that program. However, we do have student employment resources that extend beyond the federal work study program. So Randy and his team are here to assist in locating positions, and we'll talk about those in a few minutes. And last, just in regards to loans, I have some screens regarding loans in a moment that I'll talk about. But other resources, these are things like outside scholarships that you may have received at the time of graduation. If you have not notified us of any outside scholarships you've received, you may do so right within this portal. That information will be sent directly to us electronically. If you have not been able to log in and do that, you also can send us an email or send us those checks directly to Bucknell, as we want to get those things credited to your account for the upcoming semester. So some additional next steps. We have been communicating. I think we're on our third email for setting up the security word. Federal regulations require that as you onboard at an institution, there's FERPA regulations. And we also must keep all information related to federal tax information, social security numbers, all of that secured. And so we have created an opportunity for our students to initiate a word that can be shared with a parent or guardian, so that if you wish your parent or guardian to call the office to ask for additional information regarding the financial aid, that security word is shared with anyone in your party. That way we know who we're talking to on the phone. We're not sharing information with somebody who should not be aware. Please know my staff will not share information unless we have that security word. We are not being difficult. This is meant to secure information for the whole family. And so again, my team will be asking those questions upon calling into the office. And if your student sets up that word, there will not be any issues or concerns when calling in. And I briefly just talked about outside scholarships a few moments ago, and I want to just hit on our policy for outside dollars. We allow students to bring scholarships, need-based grant dollars up to the cost of attendance. So that means if you had received outside scholarships stacked on top of anything received from Bucknell, you may have a chance to eliminate student loans within your financial aid. And so what that means for a student who's not going to be borrowing, your cost of attendance for next year will be $88,436. So you can bring those awards up to that amount. For those of you who do choose to borrow, we do give you a small allotment for loan fees. And so your cost of attendance would be $88,496. When we talk about cost of attendance, please be aware those are not all fully direct costs. Costs that are direct that you will see on your B-bill are truly and only your tuition, your activity fee, your rooms, and meals. However, we do have allowances set in place for books, supplies, travel to campus, and other incidentals you may need. And again, that information is here. If you have any questions related to our policy regarding outside scholarships, we do have an FAQ section on our financial aid website, or you're welcome to call into the office at any time, and we're happy to assist you. Often I receive questions regarding, where I can go to find other scholarships, and here are just a few resources for you. I always remind my students and families, please do not pay for any of these services. These are free sites. Yes, they will want your personal information, your email, and your address. But again, this is not something you should be paying for. There are a lot of free resources out there. These scholarships may require additional applications, essays and whatnot. But again, I encourage families and students to submit as many as possible. If you can reduce any borrowing or out-of-pocket expenses, outside scholarships are the way to assist you. Regarding federal student loans, many families will ask, how do I receive a subsidized loan versus unsubsidized? And it's all due based on the application for financial aid. So the CSS profile that you completed is an institutional aid application for Bucknell dollars. But the FAFSA is the application for the federal loans, the state grants particular to each state that may reciprocate with Pennsylvania. And so we take our cost of attendance and we take your student aid index to determine what is your financial need. And then we stack in all those free dollars first. And what's remaining then is either a subsidized loan or unsubsidized loan. So you cannot choose the breakdown of how those are determined. It's all simple math. And so for a subsidized student loan, it is for a student who does demonstrate financial need. And for the upcoming academic year, the maximum amount a student can receive from a subsidized loan is $3,500. And as you can see here, the interest rates are 6.53% with an origination fee of just over 1%. Origination fees and interest rates are set each year by the federal government. We wait until mid-May to know what those are. And so when those are announced, we share those with our families. When you take a federal student loan, the interest rate is then set on that loan for the entire time you're in repayment after graduation. And we'll talk about that in a moment. The unsubsidized student loan is for a student who may not demonstrate financial need, or for some, you have a breakdown of a loan of $3,500 through the subsidized loan program and $2,000 through the unsubsidized loan program. That's an additional loan that was allowed back in 2008 and has continued. Again, so for some of you, a portion of your loan will begin to accrue interest while you're in school. Same rules apply. There's a 6.53% interest rate with an origination fee. All of your loans are deferred while you're in school. You're in what's called in-school deferment. And after graduation, loans have a 6-month grace period before repayment will begin. If you're planning to borrow federal student loans, we use active confirmation. So we want our students to tell us if they are indeed planning to borrow. We will not process a loan without your permission. So in that My Bucknell self-service portal, you will see a breakdown of your federal student loans where you will be able to go in and accept or decline those loans. Many of you have done this process already, and I appreciate that. If you have not completed this step, you will continue to receive emails from us until this part is submitted. If you indeed plan to decline your loan, but something changes during the academic year and you wish to borrow a portion or all of that loan, you can reach out directly at finaid@bucknell.edu, and we're happy to provide you with the steps to reinstate that loan. After accepting that loan, if that is your plan, you will be encouraged to go to studentaid.gov. You'll log in with your FSA ID, and then you'll need to complete entrance counseling and master promissory notes. For those students who are coming to Bucknell, you probably don't have any credit established. So federal student loans allow you to access, again, dollars to help you afford your Bucknell education. But because you don't have credit established, you need to complete these 2 steps in order to receive your loan. Entrance counseling will probably take you anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes. It's going to ask you questions related to what aid you're receiving at Bucknell, what type of student loan you have, what are your plans after graduation. It's meant to be a very informative page and put you through some questions if you haven't borrowed before, so you understand how borrowing does work. The master promissory note will take just a few moments. It's going to ask basic demographic information, but most important, it's going to ask for 2 references, 2 people. It could be a parent, a grandparent, aunt, uncle, sibling of who may know where you are in the years following your graduation from Bucknell. In addition, there are other options to be able to finance Bucknell's educational expenses. If you're not able to make payment directly, that's okay. There's some other options out here. We have been communicating those. Some of you are already in process of securing student loans, but many of you are waiting for that Bucknell B-bill, which should be coming out sometime around July 10th or 11th. That Bucknell B-bill right now may, if you're out there looking at it, may only show tuition, but the institutional aid will be showing on there around the 9th of July. Any kind of federal aid or state aid is shown in a memoed status. We cannot disperse any federal or state dollars until classes begin. So again, you will see the breakdown on the B-bill. It could be confusing, so call us if you have any questions. But because classes haven't started, those funds are held as credited to your account, but in, again, a memoed status. For parents or step-parents who wish to borrow, the Parent Plus Loan Program is an option at studentloans.gov. You simply click in the application, you'll list Bucknell school code, you'll list your student's name, social security number, and then you'll go through the process to apply. Parents can choose immediate repayment, can choose interest-only options, and can choose to even defer the loan until after your student graduates. Interest rates were recently set in May at just over 9% with an origination fee of 4.228%. So again, if you're planning to borrow, let's just say a lump sum of $10,000, you're actually going to receive a lesser amount of just over $9,600 some dollars credited towards your Bucknell B-bill because of that origination fee. If you need help determining loan amounts, we have a loan processor in our office who can assist you. And we can work with you directly on any questions you have related to the Federal Parent Plus Loan Program. We do have a monthly payment plan. Bursar Services has been sending information out for, I believe, since the beginning of May. Unfortunately, the way our semesters work, our actual fiscal years start July 1, but the payment plans start in June. And even though we don't credit aid till later, it's kind of awkward the way it works, but you can begin with a payment plan that starts in June. Those can be adjusted if need be directly through Nelnet Campus Commerce. But again, if you're looking to take some of your payments and break them down over several months without interest, this is an option for you. And last but not least, we have private educations or alternative education loans. These are lenders that are, could be large banks, smaller credit unions. And again, this requires a little shopping on your part. As a family, private education loans have varying interest rates, repayment options, and it could be based on your debt to income ratios, your FICO scores. So again, every lender could be different, could be offering you a different rate depending on how they choose to, really push the risk out over all their borrowers. If you're looking for a private education loan, we have a list on our financial aid website. We use a service called Elm Select. We complete RFIs each year where we learn what the rates are and the structures are for student loans. And again, we have a list out there for you to review. For those going down the path of looking at a private education lender, we cannot offer a specific lender to you. There's a lot of regulations regarding that. So the list that we have out there will have many different options for you. You have a 30-day window where if you choose to apply for a private education loan, you can choose one lender today and tomorrow go to a different lender. And as long as you're applying within a 30-day window, there will be no adverse credit impact by looking at various options. So now I'm going to ask my colleague Brandy to share a little bit about student employment.
Thank you, Erin. So student employment is a really great way to get involved on campus. It connects students, connects their academic experiences with their co-curricular activities. It's a great opportunity to gain valuable skills that you'll use at Bucknell and post-graduation. And it's also just a great way to form meaningful relationships with faculty and staff here on campus. So on-campus employment is great because it allows for flexible scheduling around students' class times. During the academic year, there are over 2,000 students who have jobs on campus, so you'd be joining a vast community of other student workers. There's also a variety of work opportunities, including those in research, athletics, tutoring, library, performing arts, community service, and plenty of others. And all these campus jobs are open to students with federal work study. So students can find jobs through the My Bucknell webpage. They can navigate through the quick links for tools and technology, and they can click on the link for Bison at Work in Workday, which is where all open jobs are posted. And students who are interested in applying for jobs should follow the directions provided in the job posting by filling out a standard application and typically providing a resume and/or cover letter. And then just some other important employment reminders. Here at Bucknell University, academics are the #1 priority. Students cannot work more than 20 hours per week when classes are in session. For students who are federal work study eligible, their work study awards must be earned by finding their own job on campus, and they can earn up to the total of their award. And for all students who are considering employment on campus, should make sure to bring their original and unexpired forms of identification, because these are requirements in order to work on campus. This is a one-time requirement unless you have an expiring visa or immigration paperwork that permits you to work in the United States. And the most common forms of these ID are either a passport by itself or a driver's license accompanied with a social security card or a birth certificate. And during the first 3 weeks of the semester, our student employment team will be on campus holding open hours where students can complete their onboarding. Otherwise, we are located in Cooley Hall during the academic year. So I'm going to pass it back to Erin to talk about some other financial aid items.
Great, thanks, Randy. Just a few other items as you're onboarding to Bucknell and thinking ahead of all the things that you want to do to add to your educational experience here. I want to call on the opportunity for study abroad. We have an Office of Global Education, and we work closely with the team there to assist students in navigating opportunities away from our campus. If you're not interested in a full semester program, that's okay. Our full semester programs are held with other third-party programs, but also Bucknell has a vast array of faculty-led programs in some specific countries such as France, England, Spain. So a lot of really great opportunities where your financial aid dollars travel with you. And so again, if you're thinking study abroad could be financially not possible, let us work with you to explain how those programs do work to allow you to leave our campus if that is something of interest to you. We do also have programs that run over the intercession between the fall and spring term, and also over the summer. We have programs as short as 3 weeks, but as long as 8 weeks where you can earn some additional credit hours, attend these programs with other Bucknell students and faculty members. And again, we do, for those students who apply for financial aid, we will evaluate your application and determine what eligibility you have for additional support to assist you with study abroad. Also, for anyone interested in taking summer classes, we do not allow our dollars to go to another campus. However, if you wish to stay and take classes here at our institution, or if we're offering any online, we can provide some additional limited support to assist you with any kind of summer educational expenses. So again, there's a lot of rich opportunities for students to expand their educational experience beyond that, again, fall and spring term. And we want students and parents to be aware that we're here to assist. A good portion of counseling that we do throughout the academic year is related to study abroad. Students can make appointments with our staff. If you prefer Zoom sessions, whatever it may be, we're here to assist you. And again, these are just some other things to be thinking about as you're navigating to campus in the upcoming weeks. Randy has indicated that they will have some time set aside for students to complete I-9s and all of their employment paperwork. And also Bursar services, financial aid, and student employment will be on campus. There will be a resource fair on the day that you move to campus. So we will be available if you need anything. If you haven't had a chance to call us, please don't be afraid to come find us. We're happy to be here to assist you at any point during your academic experience. And all things related to financial aid, you will be hearing from us in a few weeks after you start here in the term, because we'll start the application process again for the next academic year. Again, thank you for your time. If you have any questions, here's our office emails and phone numbers. Please don't hesitate to call us. We're here if you need something. And again, if you're afraid to ask, please don't be. We're happy to help you as you onboard to Bucknell. We wish you safe travels and we'll see you soon. Thank you for your time today. Have a great day.